Welcome back to the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge, presented by Innova Disc Golf. I'm Andrew Fish, joined by Nathan Queen on the MPO Round 2 Chase Card.
Yes, and we get to see the Innova course today, back on one that's been a staple and the final round for the last few years now. Better scoring conditions as well, so that's something to look out for with that lower wind.
Absolutely. Much more consistent direction, intensity, and we've got a pretty fire card here. Kevin Jones, Luke Humphries, Paul McBeth, and Emerson Keith all jumping out to really good scores in that round one condition.
Yeah, as tight as the scores are up top, everybody really on the top three cards you see here has a chance to have the lead, even down to the fifth card most likely has a chance to have the lead after this round. So gonna be fun to watch here.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Kevin Jones' bag, he's going to rely on a couple things in particular. Those PA3 that he's putting with, and then he's got an orange D2 in 400G plastic that he uses for lots of distance lines. Luke Humphries, he's going to putt with the P Model S, and we know that Luke is comfortable with both a forehand and backhand. So I'm expecting to see those D2s and D3s get a lot of work out here.
And Paul McBeth putting with those Lunas, going to see some up shots with those as well. And then Force and Zeus out here in the open, really going to lean on those a lot. Maybe some cap wraps for the shorter approach shots. And then getting into Emerson Keith's bags, brand new bag this year, so going to be keeping it pretty simple. Putting with the blue bonnets, and then you see those bayonets down there in different plastics. Really going to be leaning on those bayonets for the different long shot shapes you need.
And we'll get into hole one. Hole one is a par 3, 353 feet. You see a series of turtleback hills on the right side and a path to the right. I would say most of this card is going to look to throw a forehand. There's a slight headwind and slight left to right cross.
And like you said, forehand really is the play here. Best for the ground play. Really keeps you away from any OB that you have going on as well.
Kevin with a good shape here, driving it left. I don't know that that's going to work all the way back. So with that extra bonus distance on it, he's going to be edge of circle 2 perhaps.
Luke Humphries, I think this is the second year in a row he started off pretty hot out here at Vegas. See if he's going to be able to keep it going during the second round.
And I'm interested to see how Luke's able to perform. He said he was nursing a little bit of a finger injury over the winter.
From Huntington Beach, California.
Pretty good start right there.
A little bit flatter out of the hand, maybe getting a good read off of Kevin's shot, but oh baby, good little stick even on the backside of the hill. So he'll have a putt from 24 feet perhaps.
Emerson Keith.
Yeah, surprising to see it sit like that. But that's what you get. You know, 5-time is a real thing. 6-time, excuse me.
6-time now. Emerson, really quick wrist action there. And if you clear that little green spot, you usually end up in a good spot. But roll back to circle 2.
Yeah, very common on this hole. If you can disc down to a fairway, which is easier to do lefty backhand than it is that right-handed forehand, and get your disc to land flat rather than on that hyzer angle when it finishes, can kind of control that roll away a little bit. But being on this hill in this short grass, it's something you see fairly often out here.
We spoke yesterday about the importance of ground play and understanding how the disc is going to react in order to get it to, to the basket or to your landing zone.
Not a bad bid there. Sometimes it's tough to get the height on that. Definitely had that just a little off to the left.
Luke with a good driven spin putt, high in the chains. You like to see that out of him. Luke's kind of gone through a little bit of evolution in his putting. That's much more driven than I expect to see from him. Or than I have been used to seeing, perhaps.
Yeah, and Paul keeping pace, gonna card his 2 as well. So 2 2s on the card. Maybe would expect 3 up here on these top few cards. Really want to get this first birdie to start. Really, this first 5-6 holes seems pretty attackable out here on the Innova course. Brings us straight into hole 2. More my style of shot, kind of in the woods, got a low ceiling. Keep it pretty straight, right-handed backhand with a slight stand-up, or even staying on a hyzer, just pushing straight. It's going to be ideal here.
Luke's going to go to the mid-range and early release to the left side. Still gets most of the flight out of that after the skip. Paul to the buzz, and that hill probably grabbed most of his speed. He may get to circle 2. That's a low ceiling opportunity.
And his was pushing a bit too far right. Kevin's got his more down the middle, a bit too low, might have snuck up to about circle's edge or so.
Ooh, and I don't like this at all. There's a spectator area on that left side that plays as out of bounds. It appears he managed to clear it and avoid it.
Yeah, you don't see an early release like that often get through all those trees to have a look up here.
Mm-hmm. Good look from Jones. You see how much he uses his legs in that putt.
And low ceiling, not giving Paul a problem. They're able to start 2 for 2. Trying to show those guys on lead card they're going to have to push towards him.
You see Luke kind of give up on that putt halfway there. Sometimes it's difficult to give that full run with low ceiling, knowing that you're basically going, full speed at the basket instead of being able to loft.
Yeah, your mentality while you're putting is one of the hardest things to figure out or to do correctly when you're out there on the course. Knowing the right times to be aggressive, knowing when you can try to miss high if you're that's a real thing sometimes, but it's hard to figure that out.
And pretty easy when you're in rhythm during a practice session, but you might only get 6 or 8 real putts during a golf round. Hole 3 is going to play as a true island hole. The camera is flying the left route. Most players are going to take a right-hand backhand hyzer around the right side. And speed control is critical here. At only 260, but needing to beat the corner tree. You don't want to run long into the out-of-bounds cart path. Paul swings wide, and catching the top of that hill is actually pretty ideal. That's at circle 2's edge, so almost anything that hits that is going to funnel well into circle 1.
Yeah, and swinging your disc out wide like that is a great way to control the distance on a short hole like this. You're still able to give it a little bit more momentum, but keep it from going longer by swinging it out wide.
Humphries getting the green flag and safe call there. That's, in a way, that feels like a stroke swing. Like, you can build momentum off of a mistake like that when you get a good result. And Jones with some drama. I imagine that turned into a green as well.
Yeah, not the mistake you want to make. Although it is an island hole, this is one you really do want to get the birdie on early in the round. Looks like Emerson may have left that one a little short as well.
Oh God, that looks so good out of the hand.
These are all tough stances. I think if you're stuck in that position, you need to just take your medicine. Give yourself a 0-footer on your third.
Yeah, elevated basket like this and some OB close. I agree with that. Paul, gonna put it real close. Having 3 for 3, having a turkey to start the round.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. If you rewind, go back and look at how driven Paul's putts were on holes 1 and 3 compared to how it was on 2. I know he made it on 2, but he specifically told me after the round that he didn't like the way his putt on 2 had flown. He wants that direct, like, committed line into the bucket.
Yeah, perfectionist in play right there. Starting with a turkey and telling you his mistakes.
Hey everybody, Kevin Jones here. If you guys want to support me, I've got a website. It's kjonesdiscgolf.com. You can find shirts, other gear, and discs, of course, and coffee as well. Also follow me on Instagram at KevJUSA.
The Savant is a little less overstable Thunderbird. So if you don't have quite the power to throw a Thunderbird, you can throw the Savant and you can throw it farther.
I just think the plastic is very premium. It's a high quality material. The way the disc feels in my hand.
I think it's the quality of plastic.
It's unlike any other plastic that you'll find in the industry.
The quality is better than any other company out there.
Again, just consistent plastic. It's something I can consistently trust on every single throw.
There's so many discs to choose from, and I guarantee if you tried every disc in the lineup, you're gonna want to put multiple discs in your bag.
It's extremely high quality. You can only say so much, they have to eventually just try it themselves and see.
Brings us into hole 4, a bit of a change this year. T-pad's in a slightly different spot, and you now have this triple mando, keeping you from throwing that big sweeping hyzer out to the right side. So really gotta get your distance play right, which this mound in front of you makes a bit more difficult as well.
Yeah, almost a quadruple mando. And it's pretty common because of that kind of high floor to see shots not really be able to track over with the nose up initial angle. Humphries FX4, and even that's not wanting to break right of the basket at any point.
Yeah, as a left-handed thrower, even though I'm not throwing this hole this year, I appreciate this change, as I kind of had to go for that straight shot on this hole either way and had to have this pretty much this shot shape.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of evens the hole out where they don't have that hyzer to fall back to.
Emerson, you see that good explosive power he's got. Finally a shot that's to the right of the basket at some point, and that's going to give him the best look out of the group. Fortunately, nobody has to re-tee, which would be the penalty for missing the Mando.
Don't do it. I knew it, man. Just airball it. Airballing.
Paul with the scary run on that one, and there is that scary roll. That's why you see a lot of players from that 60 foot going to go ahead and lay that up. Now he's got what seems to be a longer putt now for his par.
And
What? Just look good. That's it.
Oh, that looked good the entire time. I thought he had it.
And McBeth trying to make up for the roll away, unable to do so. That was a great putt by Kevin, getting him on the board. We didn't really see a whole lot of catastrophic rollaways yesterday, and we'll watch Kevin once more. Yeah, that's committed. Good tailwind putt and good adjustment after watching McBeth and Humphries from a similar angle. We didn't really see that many catastrophic rollaways yesterday, but that is an element of this course and this style of course design to make greens difficult, to make you have to make some golf decisions.
As Emerson just barely squeaks that one over, able to get himself on the board also. Everybody with a birdie now. And I believe yesterday the wind making some players be a little bit less aggressive could have played into seeing less rollaways.
Yeah, certainly. Hole 5 going to be our first par 4 out of 7 on the course. You need to have a shot that's moving left to right at some point, as there's OB line to the left, path to the right, and then a green short of the basket. Additionally, that OB wraps around long. So you kind of make a choice here. Are you going to play a fairway driver backhand, or this forehand as a more conservative play and attack on your second shot? Or we may see some guys go big with a distance driver backhand turnover.
Yeah, and the OB on the left side is new this year. It hasn't been there in the past. You could kind of fade out into those trees. And not that you had a good shot, but you weren't OB. So that could definitely play into some of these forehands being thrown rather than the big flexing backhand that could fade out and go OB left side.
Right, absolutely. And the pine tree on the right is a pretty good marker. That's going to be about 360, 370 away from the basket. And I think the ideal way to play this is to try to throw a skip shot off the green on your second. So everyone getting themselves to a point where they could comfortably throw that 9 speed to do so.
Yeah, everybody looking to go for pretty much the same landing zone there. Gonna try to play that skip shot off of the green. I personally feel if you can stay left side off of the tee pad and then have that right-handed backhand into the green, that it plays a little better, less likely for that big skip into a rollaway, or you can have that uphill putt rather than kind of a scary putt, putting downhill if you don't quite get this shot right.
Sure. And you see a little bit of that danger. Paul with a fortunate stop as he carries some speed down the hill. Humphries playing an approach disc and well measured on his distance and power.
Yeah, that shot right there makes you want to rethink makes me want to rethink what I just said. That's how you draw it up this way.
Yeah, we're going to see you throwing a Gator skip shot off the green when you're back here next year, huh?
Yeah, that's the plan. Probably be a Gator, maybe Firebird.
Yeah, sure. Very nice putt by McBeth. You see how slack the wind is. There's no reason not to go for that one. And, good comeback after the bogey on 4.
Yeah, keeping that par-free round going. And Emerson gonna card his birdie for back-to-back. Keeping up with the rest of the card now.
And I imagine Luke should be able to do the same.
Oh, man. We're going to get our first diamond frame of the year. Which brings us into hole 6. If you haven't seen this tee pad, there's a sign there that says bang your head. It can cause you a bit of issues here. Such a short little hole, 222 feet, but very easy to go OB, especially if the wind is up. But just a soft little putter, if you can get it nose up to control that distance or throw it straight down into the ground, gonna be the best way to get right by this pin.
Yeah, pretty iconic hole out here. It's the one that everyone's going to post on their social media, trying to ace it or at least stick the island. And a little bit leaky to the left. That'll leave a circle's edge putt towards the water. And I like what Luke is doing here. Going standstill to minimize the moving parts and trusting the stability so that it's kind of stalling back towards the green.
Yeah, that's that little nose up shot I was talking about. Really helps you get that distance dialed in.
McBeth doing the same with a zone. And immaculate. You can bang head here on the tray instead of the tree, huh?
Yeah, that's a better way to bang your head.
I appreciate your semantic choice on the previous hole to call it a diamond frame instead of star frame.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And pending Emerson's putt here. Ooh, don't love that.
Oh, no. And that is, you could tell as soon as he let go of it, he knew that's going to go from a 2 to a 4 pretty quickly. As Kevin Jones able to capitalize on his good drive, carding a turkey to get him going during the round now, too.
So Emerson going to take his meter in and now putt for 4.
And he may not even get that putter back.
Yeah, Wildhorse Golf Club uses reclaimed water, so we've been instructed not to go wading, not to go swimming, to get anything. They'll pull them out and give us back next year.
What's up, guys? Thanks for all the support. You can find me at lukehumphries.dg on Instagram, and then just my name, Luke Humphries, on YouTube. Appreciate it.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness, it's safe. Right on the line. She's gonna have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
So Nathan, I'm sorry, we kind of got another hole with water on the right here. Playing as a par 4, even at 417 feet, you need to clear the green. The bunkers around the basket play as hazard. You would putt from those inbounds. But certainly an eagle opportunity for ambitious players here.
Definitely so. This one, that par 4 distance, or par 4, but par 3 distance, and you see.
And look at the choice of Kevin to run from off the tee pad towards the right front corner. He told me he's deliberately doing that to get his angle right of release, and so that the disc is moving kind of across the green as it gets there, preventing him from, running into a bunker directly.
Yeah, I love it. Angles are everything in this sport that we have here, and whatever you need to do to get at the angle that you want it, I say you should go for it.
And Paul definitely trusting this out wide. Oh, but just kind of a dead skip on the green. And that'll send him to the drop zone, which is not a super easy one, about 240 feet back.
Yeah, it takes your birdie out of play and definitely brings those hazards into play to when you're trying to save your par.
I thought it was in the bunker for sure.
And a nice stick landing there. Gonna be in between the OB green and hazard bunker. Have an opportunity for an eagle.
All right. Humphries going to be putting 3 from the hazard. And this is where rounds can kind of get out of control. There's a downslope behind that basket. It's surrounded by so much danger. And yes, Emerson for eagle after airballing the last putt pretty badly. That's a big pickup.
Yeah, showing nerves of steel there, not concerned with what happened on the last hole. Able to just brush it off and take your next putt. You can't worry about what happened before. You can only worry about what you're about to make now.
McBeth in for par. And Kev Jones, the easiest eagle he's going to get perhaps this year.
23 players able to card the eagle on that hole. Moves us straight into hole 8, 417-foot par 3. If you've got the big forehand, that is going to be your best play here. You've got an OB cart path on the left side. There is some OB on the right side if you get over there far enough, but pretty difficult to get to unless it's a windy day with a turnover shot.
And kind of a blind landing zone. Like, you have to pick a point on the horizon and trust that your disc is going to like break even when you can't really see it anymore. Is there a way that you go about, picking that spot or practicing a hole like this, Nathan?
Yeah, it's hooking up.
It's really just knowing the disc that's going to go the distance that you have. It's really just in your practice round, throw a couple different speeds of discs and figure out which one you can throw at your comfortable max, 75% to 90%, and it's not going to go long.
Yeah, for sure. And we see a little difference here in how Kevin plays a much higher shot. Luke and Emerson playing lower. Emerson's very effective getting to the backside. And Paul kind of throwing high and stally. No real danger, but he's going to have some work left to do if he wants a birdie.
Yeah, with the oh my goodness, he is all over that basket today.
Wow.
Kevin Jones all over that basket as well. Has a stretch of 6 under par in the last 5 holes.
Yeah, that's a streak you can get on this end of a course, especially on the front, where you need to get your scoring done early. Paul with a clean look but unable to convert.
Yeah, not something you see real often. Paul getting big putted. He's usually the one doing the big putt. Man, it's crazy to watch the difference from yesterday's round to today's round. How yesterday we got so much red early on and the birdies took a little while to catch back up, but today lots of green, even some blue on here, and barely any red showing.
Yeah, and I promise we're at the same complex. I parked my car in the same spot and everything. Hole 9, the final hole of our front. This is another par 4 that has kind of a tasteful gap shot. It's not super in play, but you need to push through there pretty far. Play something overstable, and then there's a bunker short, OB long. I would expect a forehand, backhand combo for this entire group.
And a nice tree direct for Kevin Jones there. Definitely pulled that over early right. Still able to get out of the gap, though. Not in a great position, but still possible to get the birdie from where he's at.
And that far left side might even open up his angle better so that he sees exactly where he's playing instead of throwing, past a bunker. Emerson with the more textbook style shot. He's going to carry pretty far, leaving him maybe 200, 220 into the green.
Yeah, and he's over there to that left side as well, like you were saying. Kind of almost takes that bunker out of play if you can throw that forehand up there.
Nicely done by Luke. He's center cut. And Paul appears to clip something on his way out as well.
Yeah, it looks like he may have the shortest drive of the group. He's over there right here close to where KJ's at. Oh.
Hits just keep on coming for Kevin. That very easily could have found the hazard, but instead he will be putting 3 from near circle's edge. Paul swinging this real wide. That's headed backside of the green. Oh, I lied. That's only pin high.
Yeah, I was right there with you. Usually if you swing it out wide, you're going to end up wrapping around behind that pesky little tree behind the basket. It's got just enough branches on it to kind of get in your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for curling.
Emerson throws his chupacabra, which does curl nicely for him.
Yeah, Luke able to play down to one of his mid-ranges as well and just barely put anything on that. Gonna have himself a nice drop-in birdie.
Yeah, I think I want to highlight that that's something that makes Luke special as a player. Like, if he is able to throw a forehand approach disc, nice putt by Kevin, keep that round going. If Luke's able to throw that shot, he's not going to miss it very often. And that, like, when a player has a strength like that they can lean on, it's huge.
Definitely so. And Emerson not quite able to connect, but look at KJ's scorecard right now. 7 down in the last 6 holes.
Yeah, start slow, then get hot.
Yeah, making that push with a tap-in eagle putt on hole 7.
And Luke with his own tap-in here. An actual tap-in, yep. So thank you so much for joining us. There's a lot of coverage out there, but we're glad you joined Gatekeeper Media. Nathan, I'll see you on the back.
Yeah, we'll see you guys out there.
Make sure that you like, subscribe, share. Help us keep Gatekeeper Media going all the different ways that you can.
Yeah, you see Anthony Barella starting off hot as well. A couple other hot scores still tight up top. We'll see you guys out there on the back nine.